Hi, welcome to the Protractor training series. This is the last video before we enter into the programming of Protractor. Let's try to understand what happens behind the scenes when you work with Protractor. Let's try to concentrate on the first picture here, which have three sections: the test section, the server, and the browser. So let's first discuss what we have gone so far. So far, we know that Protractor is nothing but an end-to-end test framework tool that will help you automate the AngularJS applications, right? And then we also know that Protractor is nothing but it was developed in Node.js, which is nothing but a Node.js program, and that supports a lot of BDD frameworks, that is behavioral driven development frameworks like Jasmine, which is a built-in that comes with the Protractor when you install it. And also we have support for Mocha and Cucumber and also any other custom BDD frameworks. And then we have the Selenium server that comes default with the installation of Protractor. Selenium is nothing but a browser automation framework, right? And Selenium includes several things like the Selenium server, the WebDriver APIs, and also the WebDriver browser drivers. All right. So now let's understand how the stuff works, right? So you write a test in Protractor, okay, and then there is a Selenium server. You remember the very first sample test that I have run, where initially I have started the Selenium server, right? So you cannot run your test without starting the Selenium server. So now let's see how the communication works. Okay. So now let's come to the next picture. So here you write the test in the Protractor. Okay, and basically what happens behind the scenes is that Node.js is the one which runs your Protractor test. It's not just the Protractor alone, but Protractor in conjunction with Node.js runs your program. Okay, so your program is sent to the Selenium server through a HTTP communication. All right, so the communication between the code that you have written and the Selenium server happens over the HTTP. All right, now Selenium server, it's the duty of the Selenium server. Okay, either it can be a locally running machine, right? You remember the Selenium standalone server jar that I have shown you in previous videos. So either that, or if you are running remotely on Source Labs. Okay, so I already told you that Protractor supports the Source Labs, right? So either one of these, okay, either one of these servers communicates with the browser, okay, where your AngularJS application is running through a JSON wire protocol. So this JSON wire protocol is nothing new, but this is already an established stuff with the Selenium. Okay, all the Selenium communication also happens in JSON wire protocol. That is nothing but JavaScript object notation, right? So once the communication happens over the JSON wire protocol, the browser receives the commands and then it executes. All right. So that is all that happens behind the scenes, which is very important for us to understand. A lot of us might be having a confusion. Why do we need to start a Selenium server? What is the need of starting a Selenium server? I hope that that makes a bit clear, right? So let me explain it one more time. So the test that you run, okay, Protractor is basically built on top of WebDriver JavaScript API, all right, uh, and which runs with the help of Node.js. So this will send the test to the Selenium server, and Selenium server in turn communicates with the browsers and where your AngularJS application is running through a JSON wire protocol. All right. So that is all the things that happen behind the scenes while you are running your program. Okay. Now there is a need to understand how your code works. Okay. So far we understood like what happens when your program runs, but now let's understand a very basic thing that happens for each command that you run. Okay. So when you pass each command to the Selenium server, there are three things that happens by the time it reaches the browser, okay, where your AngularJS application is running. So the very first thing is that it checks for the sync asynchronous. Okay, it checks for the asynchronous command to be executed. So here if you see this, so this is a command that gets executed, that is execute underscore async. So this tells the protractor, um, I mean, this is the one that tells the browser to run a snippet of JavaScript. All right. So before this dot click, okay, before this element is fetched and then clicked, there is one command that will get executed. That is asynchronous command. This is basically to see that um, to see that if there is any other asynchronous commands that are already running, okay, so that it will wait for all those asynchronous requests to be completed, okay, and then it will help you to resume your test. So this is the first thing that will tell, okay, hey, AngularJS application, are you having any other commands in your queue? Okay, so when it says that, okay, I'm done with all the timeouts and I'm done with all the asynchronous requests, then the second thing that it will do is that it will send this command, that is find this element by this ccs id. Okay, it will then the protractor will send this command, that is find this element. So this is the second command that will be sent, and once the element is found, then the third command that will be sent is the operation. Okay, here the operation is click. All right, so that is all that happens behind the scenes, guys, with respect to the entire code that you write and the way that it communicates uh, till it reaches the end. That is nothing but your AngularJS application, and also the behind the scenes for each line of code that you write. All right, see you in the next video where we'll start with the element object. If you like this video, please subscribe on our YouTube channel or connect me on Facebook or LinkedIn.